My guest today is Monsignor Stephen Rossetti, and Monsignor Rossetti has written a new book. It's titled Diary of an American Exorcist, Demons, Possessions, and Modern Day Battle Against Evil. And we're going to be talking about his new book today. And I have a bunch of questions for you, Monsignor. I have a personal interest in this topic, just from the standpoint, I've had some personal situations where I've sensed evil or even at times experienced some evil. And in today's society, it seems like we've minimized Satan and the forces of evil. Is there still a need for exorcism today?
Well, Satan's not any less active today than he was in the time of Jesus. And Jesus did exorcism and then said, I give the church and my disciples the authority to cast out demons. So he's not resting. So I would say, and matter of fact, one could make a case for it being more prevalent today, which is most of the exorcists around the country I know are busier than ever, and they say their caseloads are going up.
Mm-hmm. So a question I'm sure you get all the time, but how did you become an exorcist?
Well, I'm a licensed psychologist. And so the local bishop had a case he wanted me to evaluate as a psychologist first, which we do. You try to rule out psychological problems. So I evaluated the person and I thought, well, I told the bishop, I don't really think it's a psychological problem. I think you need to contact an exorcist. And so he tried 3 different priests and all 3 of them said no. So I'm sitting there with the auxiliary bishop going, well, what do we do now? I said, well, give it to me. How hard can it be? So that was my first mistake 14 years ago. So it's been all downhill. What can I say? No, it's been a great ministry, but it's been pretty intense.
As I understand it, exorcists have like teams of people that pray with them as well.
Yeah, the old days of the exorcist walking with his little black bag by himself, they're gone. We work in teams. I usually, if a full case of possession, there'll be at least two priests in the room. We have a number of lay people, maybe a deacon. And so there'll be a team of people to pray and support and to be there.
So how many exorcisms do you perform like on a monthly basis?
Our team, we're very St. Michael's Center here in the Archdiocese of Washington. We do about 20 plus sessions a week. So that would be typical of a week, about 20. We have a website and an app called A Catholic Exorcism. So just download the free app, Catholic Exorcism. You can find a lot of great deliverance prayers for the laity and a lot of real helpful resources. Or you can go to www.catholicexorcism.org. And again, there's a lot of great resources there, including, by the way, a deliverance session. So for those who feel like they've got some maybe demonic problems, there's a video there that they can watch and pray with. And people have said it seems to help them.
Thank you. So what are demons?
Well, it's de fide that there are angels. Of course, it's part of our faith that there are angels. And we believe, as the book of Revelation points out, some of them fell and rejected God, led by Lucifer or Satan, and they were cast out of heaven. And so you've got Lucifer and his followers, who are fallen angels. And the word we use to describe them are demons.
And do they have free will?
Sure. That's how they fell. They have free will. So they're not machines. I mean, when you're facing demons in an exorcism, they make choices. They make decisions. They plan. They try to undo what you're doing. And so you're dealing with a crafty opponent who is evil and devious.
So have you ever personally been attacked when you've been in one of these exorcisms?
I like what one senior exorcist said not too long ago. He says, don't think you're going to poke Satan in the eye every day and think he's not going to react. So, but the good news is we're protected. If we weren't, we'd all be dead. I mean, if he could kill us, we'd be dead. People get all frightened about Satan and say, oh my gosh, he's going to kill me. No, he's not going to kill you. God will not allow it. He can't maim you. He can tempt you. He will tempt you. And he can jerk you around a little bit, And in his extraordinary forms, for those who are oppressed or possessed, he can rough you up a little bit. And the great saints experience that. I mean, St. John Vianney was roughed up all the time, Padre Pio, St. Catherine of Siena. So God does allow them some leeway, but they're very chained. People get frightened by this. They can't do anything that's not allowed by the Lord. So I say, look, trust in Jesus. We trust in Jesus. Do we get some backlash? Of course we do. But Jesus is Lord, and he'll take care of that.
Mm-hmm. If someone is feeling like they're being attacked by a demon or Satan, what should they do?
The first thing I would say is, again, on the app, there's a video say what to do if you have demons. There's been over 1,000 views of that, and just recently. So it gives you a whole list of things to do. But the most important thing to do, of course, is to practice the faith. Go to confession, go to mass, pray, receive the sacraments, use sacramentals, holy water, crucifixes, holy statues. So these are very powerful. We use them ourselves in our sessions. You know, we always use holy water, hold up a crucifix, and we say the prayers of the church. So don't underestimate the power of the sacraments. The primary sacraments are the ones that cast out evil. I just had one woman we were praying over quite some time. In the midst of the exorcism process, she was confirmed. And she said it was a huge help to her to being confirmed, receiving that sacrament.
So are there any names or name that Satan fears?
Jesus. He hates that name. He hates it. And in the name of Mary. My gosh. Matter of fact, in the midst of one exorcism, we were saying the name of Jesus, and the demons pipe up through the mouth of the possessed person. Stop saying that name. And so what did we do? We kept saying the name of Jesus for the rest of the session. Or in one case, we were getting close to the end. We commanded the demon's name of Jesus to tell us when they're leaving and how they're going to be leaving. And they were forced to say, and they just simply said, she will come. And we knew exactly who she meant, that the Virgin Mary would come. She would stomp on Satan's head, and she did. She showed up, and they couldn't get out of that room fast enough.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything you can do to protect yourself from being possessed?
Here's what I tell people.
Mm-hmm.
A 3-step process of getting possessed, which I don't suggest you follow. You want to get possessed? First thing, stop practicing the faith. As Ephesians 6, 11, 12, whatever says to us, that the faith is our protection and our shield against the wiles of the devil. So stop practicing the faith. That takes away your protection. 2, commit serious sins. That creates a real vulnerability. And then 3, start practicing the occult. Use Ouija boards, do magic, occult behaviors, all this sort of stuff. And that's it's a direct invitation to invite Satan into your life. So to keep yourself safe, stop with all the magic stuff. And there's no such thing as good magic. There's no such thing as a good witch. It's you're using evil means. No. 2, stop committing serious sins. Go to confession. And 3, practice the faith. Jesus is our protection and our shield.
Mm-hmm. If are there people that have maybe more sensitive to when they feel evil spirits or maybe feel something evil in a room?
Yeah. Well, we believe it's a commonly held that before the fall, we had a lot more preternatural sensitivities. We lived among the angels. Adam and Eve saw God in the garden, and so there was this preternatural, supernatural sensitivity, and most of this went in the wake of the fall. But there are some people who do continue to have sensitivities. They're more sensitive to demons being present and some discernment. So it's a gift from the Lord. Now, there are times when people have these sensitivities and they come from the devil. I mean, so someone who's possessed will often have some similar kinds of sensitivities. And so when we throw out the demons, oftentimes those sensitivities or occult behaviors leave. But those, when it comes from the Lord, it can be very helpful to us in our ministry to be sensitive to when the demons are present and maybe how to get rid of them. So it's a gift that the Lord gives us. We use sensitives, but we're very careful, and we need to strongly discern where these gifts come from. It's not a figment of their imagination. It's not from the devil. No, it's a gift from the Lord.
I'll give you an example. I was over at a friend's house one time, and we went back into another room in the lower level of the house. And I just had a feeling came over me, and I just really didn't feel good. The hair on my arms starts standing up and on my neck starts standing up. I'm going, there's something about this room. What happened here? And well, a person had died in that room.
There are, probably demons in the room. I think all of us have some and may not develop it, but what you just described is not uncommon, that when you sense the presence of evil in the demons, not uncommon. And typically, you feel the darkness. It often makes you feel sick. You feel nauseous. Your stomach head's killing you. And when you're around evil, sometimes it can do that. Now, some people don't. They don't feel a thing. But a lot of people do.
In times like that, what should you do?
Pray. And I would say, pray. If I was a priest there, I would start throwing holy water and start saying the rite to get rid of these demons. For yourself, I think I'd throw some holy water and if you feel comfortable telling the family, well, you may want to have a priest come here and bless this room, then I would step quietly out of the room and close the door. You don't really want to expose yourself to evil things, which is why, for example, going to evil places is not a good idea, because there's demons all over the place. You don't want to put yourself in harm's way.
So, Monsignor, you said you're a psychologist. What type of training does an exorcist have?
Well, in the old days, when I started about 14, 15 years ago, there were really no programs to speak of. And so I learned from a senior exorcist, which was great. I mean, felt very fortunate, one of the best exorcists in the world. I'm so grateful to him and to the Lord. But now there are some training programs. We train exorcists, for example, in St. Michael's Center, but also they're trained in Mundelein. There's a nice program. There's one in Rome. So typically some sort of educational program, and then some sort of side saddling with an experienced exorcist to see how it's really done. Get your hands dirty with them.
And so how long does it take for someone to become an exorcist?
Well, I'm still learning. It's 14 years. So, it's amazing the things you learn about you. I tell you, the one thing you really learn, one thing you really learn is that the truths of the faith are exactly right, just like they're taught. You learn that, Jesus cast out demons. You learn the power of sacraments and sacramentals. You learn the power of Jesus over the Satan. You learn about the power of Mary and the saints. You learn the power of the priesthood. There's so many things you learn. Relics, for example, they hate relics because the saint is sort of embodied there. So you learn the truths. That's one of the great graces of being an exorcist is, if you didn't believe all the truths of the faith, you will by the time you're through.
There's a show called The Chosen. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's Mary Magdalene's in there, and Nicodemus goes to do an exorcism on her. In one of the early episodes, and he can't get the demons to leave. And then when he finds out that Jesus gets the demons out, he really wants to meet Jesus and find out who this man is.
I've seen the show. I like it. Actually, I've seen them all. Actually, I love The Chosen. And I think the second season is even better than the first, frankly. But I remember the scene that Nicodemus couldn't cast out demons. It's interesting, when people have demons, regardless of their faith or no faith, where do they go? Typically, people say, oh, you need to see a Catholic priest. We have atheists come to us, Muslims, Jews, all sorts of different Protestants, because that the Catholic Church has been given this authority to cast out demons. And it's important. It's important. These people are desperate. People don't realize, if you've been pounded on from demons for months and maybe years, these people are at wit's end. Some of them are suicidal. They're just, they're beside themselves. And so this is a mercy to help these people and cast out the evil one.
So you say some people you have to work on for years. So it's not like it's a one and done. It can be a long period of time.
Well, I'm saying that they suffer for years from this.
Okay.
How long does it take to get rid of them? Well, it depends on the how bad it is. But most cases are not full possession cases. They're what we call oppression or obsession or lesser cases, and usually just a handful of sessions, and they're fine. If they're fully possessed, that can take months, sometimes years. Sometimes you can help them quite a bit, but they kind of hang on. So every case is different. But I would say about 90% of the people who come to us do get a lot better, and many get kind of demons get thrown out. But it's so important that they collaborate. This is not magic. We say the prayers of the church, but they need to cooperate too. They need to change their lives, stop this evil stuff, or we'll get rid of the curses or wherever they got the demons, and then really live this holy life. And they live a holy life, and the church prays over them. That's a powerful combination.
Mm-hmm. What else would you like to share with the regular Catholic guys out there, Monsignor?
Well, first of all, fathers, you have an authority over your family, and husbands and wives over each other. You should be praying for each other. And I tell people, don't be afraid to bless your children and pray for them. The church recognizes very clearly the authority of a father and a mother over their children. And if they have an evil influence, to pray that would be cast out. So don't underestimate the authority the Lord gives you, and exercise it. Pray over your children and pray for them.
Mm-hmm. And you have a new book out, which we talked about in the beginning, Diary of an American Exorcist, Demons, Possessions, and Modern Day Battle Against Evil. And you've got a copy showing for those that are watching.
Yeah.
How do you get a copy of the book,
Monsignor? Well, it's published by Sophia Institute Press. Sophia Institute Press. So the best place is go there online. You get a copy because they have lots. You get it on Amazon or anyway. Actually, it's done very well. I just got some numbers. First 2 months, it's sold over about 9,000, 10,000 copies. So
that's great.
I'm kind of shocked. That's great. I guess I would never have thought it. People tell me it's a page turner. I mean, you don't think of these things as page turners, but
the chapters are really short, so you can go through really quick stories.
Yeah, they're easy to digest. Each story takes about a minute or two, so it's not very turgid. It's an easy read, but it's deep. I think it's got some deep spiritual insights for people. But it's cast in the terms of my experiences. It's basically a diary of it. It's not just this heady theological stuff. It's like what happens day to day in the life of an exorcist.
Mm-hmm. Why did you start keeping a diary?
Well, I guess because when I started this ministry, there was very little knowledge around. I mean, there were some books, but not too many. Maybe Gabriel Morth's fine books, but wasn't much, and not in terms of the nitty gritty. So there's all sorts of things you just don't know. And so now I'm trying to share this experience. The book is first for other exorcists. Just so if you want to learn this ministry, read the book. And then I found out that lots of people are interested. So I'm trying to share my experience to help others learn this ministry.
Great. And you mentioned that you had a website too that people could go to.
Yes, we have an app and a website, free app, Catholic Exorcism. There's a whole section there on deliverance prayers for the laity. So you'll find a lot of good, that's our most popular part of the app. Or the website, www.catholicexorcism.org. It's also, by the way, there's a Spanish version there too. So, and 20,000 people have downloaded it. We get 10,000 plus hits a week. So over 150,000 people have logged into the site in the last few months. So we're very, very pleased. I think it's hit a real need. That people, there are a lot of people out there like have more experiences like yours than they would that people realize. Not that uncommon.
Mm-hmm. So we'll put all that in the show notes. Thank you, Monsignor, and God bless.
God bless you, Jeff, and God bless your ministry and all your community.
Thank you.